Nigel Farage interviews Mail Online columnist Peter Hitchens, and towards the end it gets very much squeaky bum time for Nigel. So Nigel starts out his interview talking about Peter Hitchens' former days in his youth of being a Trotsky, a socialist, and now he's moved into the conservative bracket. So Nigel asks him, a lot about his career, as you'll see from some of the clips of the interview that I've got. But one of the interesting things that as it unfolded was Nigel's take on Brexit and where we are today and how it came about. And Peter gave, shall we say, a very different opinion of how he saw it. Take a look at this.
And you're right. There are huge numbers of people out there that believe in the country, believe in borders, believe in defence, believe in all those things. And the Brexit referendum was for many people, their one real opportunity to go to the polls and to express that. And they did. And I mean, Brexit, where we are today, it's not perfect with Northern Ireland, with fisheries, but we do actually, to a large degree, have got back the ability to run our lives now, don't we?
Well, I completely disagree.
Do you?
No, I didn't take part in the referendum campaign. I didn't vote in the referendum.
Right.
I thought that we should have taken the Norway option. I thought that the referendum was designed to save the Conservative Party rather than the country. I think that was
it was offered
its whole purpose, and I think that
originally, yeah,
that's what it has ended up doing.
But we could have gone for the Norway option once we'd had the vote, couldn't we? But we didn't.
We didn't, because the campaign to leave the European Union, which was originally a campaign of people who loved this country, wanted to retain and restore its institutions and independence, was taken over by a bunch of piratical free traders who want nothing of that kind. They simply want to take this country out of the European Union and plunge us into a world of completely, as far as I see, unrestrained free trade, in which instead of being dominated by Brussels, we get pushed around by China.
He's right, isn't he? Pushed around by China. We most certainly are, as are many nations across the globe at the moment. But I found a lot about what Peter said with regards to why we voted to leave. That very, very interesting. Let me know your thoughts. But in our next clip, Nigel says something when they have a discussion on the Conservative Party, and Peter Hitchens wants to destroy the Conservative Party, and I have to say I'm a huge fan of that idea because they're fake. But anyway, that's another thing. But Nigel says something towards the end that's haunted me, so I'd like to hear your feedback on it. Listen towards the end of this short clip what Nigel says about the possibility of winning on the first past the post system. Check this out.
But it does seem to me that nearly everything that you write and say is essentially pretty negative.
Completely. I totally agree.
Okay, well, I'm pleased you agree.
In 2010, by the time the 2010 election came around, I've been arguing for, I think, 7 years that the Conservative Party needed to be destroyed, that it had been taken over by a Blairite tendency led by David Cameron and George Osborne, and was effectively the Blair government in a new form.
It was.
That it was also, at the 2010 election, you couldn't choose the government. Whichever way you voted, you get a Blairite government.
I agree with that.
Probably a Gordon Brown government would have been more conservative than a Cameron government in some ways. I think Gordon Brown was more conservative on the euro for a start than David Cameron ever was, and some other things. So if you were really wanting to choose on those grounds, quite possibly a Brown government would have been preferable. No, wait a minute. This is a very serious point. You could not choose in 2010 who would govern the country. What you could do, by refusing to vote for the Cameron Blairite organization, was to deprive the Conservative Party of a working and serious majority and of a victory for the fourth time in a row. And that would have done for the Tory party. It would have fallen down. People would have stopped giving money to it. It would have fallen apart. And there would then have been the great opportunity, only opportunity, there's nothing automatic would then happen, for those who wanted this country to be governed.
But it'll never happen.
To build.
It'll never happen.
Well, it won't happen now.
With the
that's
first,
why.
with
That's,
the first past the post system,
negative, as you call it.
Well, but with the, I mean, here's the point. You know, I came closer to breaking this blooming system electorally than anybody. I mean, you know, UKIP got 4 million votes in the general election 2015, and for our reward, we got 1 seat. And all the while we
That's the way it goes. But you then.
So you defend
what about
first past the post?
2019 and the Brexit Party?
Well, if the Brexit Party hadn't happened, Brexit wouldn't have happened.
Withdrawing to get out of the way.
It will never happen. It will never happen. Words from Mr. Brexit when talking about the first past the post system. Now, I feel very unhorsed, very uneasy about that. But please do let me know your thoughts on Nigel's interview. I'll give a URL on the description to you know, those of you that want to see the full interview. But please let me know your thoughts on it. But for me, I think Peter Hitchens gave Nigel a valuable lesson in how to interview somebody. Peter Hitchens is no muppet. Very well educated. He's got one of the most efficient political minds. But yeah, do let me know your thoughts. Please subscribe, follow, and keep your eye out for more content.